Pace car is off. Corey Heim, Kyle Busch on the inside. Green flag is in the air. We are racing at North Wilkesboro. Off to a great start for Corey Heim there. Gets ahead of Kyle Busch. But Gio Ruggiero there tucking in third.
Yeah, you can see these tires are a little bit squirmy taking off. You saw Gio kind of get loose on the top there of 3 and 4, or 1 and 2, and Kyle Busch was able to slide into second. So it's going to take these trucks a couple laps to kind of get the air pressure built up and figure out where everyone wants to be.
She had a bit of a rough start to this race.
Still outside.
Wayne Riggs pushing up through there. Let's see what happened to Tony. Oh, sideways. Right there, the 44. Connor Jones got a hold of her. Doesn't take much, does it, Ryan?
It really doesn't, especially on low air pressure. The tires are moving around. You're really wanting to build it up, and 34, that's another thing he has to be careful of, right? He just has to piece his way through the pack. As we see a lot of great battles, Gio really putting a lot of pressure on Kyle Busch.
So Corey Heim continues to lead by almost 5 seconds now. Incredible effort.
Yeah,
Only driver to lead laps in every race this season, Ryan.
Sorry, Jamie. I just look at the lap times of Corey Heim, and even though he's in traffic, he's still a tenth and a half faster than everybody else right now. So that truck is just amazing. Corey does a great job in it week in and week out.
What a battle between Grant Enfinger, Ty Majeski. That's for 8th. They were slicing and dicing their way around Frankie Muniz, the slower truck on the inside. Ooh, little contact.
The old chrome horn there.
He was just helping him out a little bit.
Yeah, tried to help him speed up off the corner.
The 9 looked a little tight, so he was trying to help him turn.
I think it worked. There you see Majeski still hounding Grant Enfinger.
And as we have a truck stalled off the exit of turn 2.
Caution flag.
Caution is out here for the first time. We have a truck stalled on the inside. There it is right there. That's that Black Rhino sponsor, Tyler Tomasi. Ruggiero, Stuart Friesen.
A pretty good start by Friesen right there on the bottom on new stuff. So he's
nose to nose, sliding
loose.
sideways.
Is that what you call sent it? And look at that 3 wide.
Chandler Smith caught a little bit of the apron, just nowhere to go. Corey Heim takes him 3 wide. Got to be careful on the bottom. These trucks rely on a lot of side force. So if you get tight,
squeeze
still
play.
3 wide down the front stretch.
Daniel Hemrick stayed in the gas. He's going to clear both those guys.
Chandler Smith still 3 wide, pushing the issue. Here comes Corey Heim. Did you say you think Corey Heim could perhaps win this stage?
I think he's got a really good shot here. He's already 5th. We know how fast that truck is. He's just going to be working the bottom, and I think the guys on used tires, they're going to be washing up the racetrack, so that's going to give Corey a little bit of cleaner air as he's trying to get back to the front to win this stage.
Gio Ruggiero has 1 more lap truck to get around. That's the 33 of Frankie Muniz.
Frankie's going to hold on.
He does, and so does Gio Ruggiero, picking up his first stage win. Corey Heim got up to 2nd. You were close, Ryan.
I was close. It took him too long to get by the 13 truck, but I'm sure he's really excited about that, and I bet Gio Ruggiero was great. Really pumped up for that stage win. You know, he's finally going to restart in the front row and see if he's got anything for that 11 truck.
Here we go. The drivers approach the Echo Park Automotive restart zone. Corey Heim, Lane Riggs.
Oh, he's going to lean on him.
Up. Oh, both of them get into the wall.
4 wide.
Grant Enfinger to the lead. Gio Ruggiero. Look at Brent Cruz in a 2nd.
You know, that's what I was talking about, that inside lane. If you send it into turn 1, gosh, they're still beating and banging off of each other. Tires trying to come up to pressure. It's slick out there right now, and everyone's trying to sort it out.
After the contact, Corey Heim slides back to 3rd. There's smoke on the 1 truck just ahead of him. Look at this mess. The 07, that's Kyle Busch. Raja Karuth, haven't talked about him in the 71, and there's Lane Riggs.
Lane Riggs got loose again just by himself, so that truck is free taking off, and he definitely saw it.
Really aggressive against our leader, Corey Heim. Just took him up the track and nearly into the wall, and Lane hasn't recovered from that.
This battle rages on between Corey Heim and young Brent Cruz. Does he get it? Yes, Corey Heim moves into 2nd. Grant Enfinger continues to lead out front.
Corey's been working over Brent for a long time, and you know, every time he'd get along. Oh, that's got tight right there. More damage on the 1 left rear. As we watched this battle, Corey was really trying to, angle off turn 4. He could angle down off turn 2 and get alongside, get to the quarter panel of the one truck. But then as he tried to do it in 3 and 4, there's that big bump we were talking about on the bottom. And that thing is really tough when you try to angle down and put the power down. And we're going to slow this down. We're going to show a great shot here. You see the 11 truck on the bottom, angling down the racetrack. Boom. You see the truck bounce right there. It's just, it makes him check up, right? And the 1 can just carry so much more momentum. So that's what makes it tough to pass off of turn 4 on the bottom. You really have to be kind of above that bump, or your car has to be just kind of ride quality a lot better over that to make that possible.
The speed differential in the front runners versus the lap trucks.
Oh, we got one in the wall.
Is that the 44? Connor Jones? It is. Stopped on track inside turn number 2.
He's been into the outside wall. I saw him. He and Matt Craftsman were battling hard for the 16th position. There's Craftsman. I saw him all over the back of the 44 just a couple of laps before.
Yeah, you see it blue right there.
Just
right front blows. And fortunately, honestly, I mean, blowing tires is not fun, but he was only 2 feet off the wall when it did, so they might be able to repair that truck and get it back out there.
Well, Josh, Corey Heim said, guys, make sure you check for any damage on that left rear because it doesn't drive as well as it did. He said, also, I'm free in. I can't get the right rear under me as well, was the feedback he gave. For Tyler Ankrum, he said, it's starting to build a little free on exit, but tight in the center. His crew chief asked, should I free you up to keep up with the racetrack? Tyler's response was no, guys.
Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger's pit crews ranked 1 and 2 as they come off 1 and 2. That was so close.
That was close. I thought the 9 had a little bit of trouble on the right rear, but they did a good job recovering. And this was about as close as it gets.
How tempting is it to squeeze that gas down just a little bit more than you should, though?
Pit crew's got the job done. Grant Enfinger hangs on to it. On the outside, Corey Heim on the inside. Raja Karuk tried to take a peek.
You see Corey, he kind of backed up turn 1, right? And he got a great exit off of turn 2. So he knew that it was slippery down there, and he set him up for the exit. And that's what really has put him in position to possibly take this lead from Grant.
Look at
38 gets in the back of Grant.
Chandler Smith contact in the back of Corey Heim. Chandler Smith to second. Grant Enfinger slides back, and there's Lane Riggs side by side with him for third.
Lane slid up into turn 1 again and just barely held it off of Grant Enfinger. His truck doesn't like those squishy air pressures you're talking about. Ankrum heating the back up of Riggs there now, and he clears Grant Enfinger.
Yep.
Working their way around. Meanwhile, the 88, Matt Crafton, had an incident here in the 91.
Oh, that's just a misjudgment there. I think Jack tried to swing her into the corner, and there was a truck there. You can see Kyle Busch is right in the middle of this battle. As you see, then Matt slides up into the wall.
Yeah, Matt just got a little bit too high on entry into turn 1, got in that gray. Well, here we go. Here's the money stop. It's most likely for a lot of guys going to be the last stop of the day, unless you're in the back and you have nothing to lose if you get a caution within 15 laps or so. So this is like no mistakes. Don't speed. Don't have a slow pit stop. This is really important.
We've
See
seen
what happened.
We've seen split strategy as we look back at what happened. 75 gets bumped into by Stuart Friesen. That'll knock you out of the way. And then he decides to hit the 22. Patrick Emmerlin didn't hit him at
looks
all.
like 22's already got a tire down.
Lost the tire. Yeah, that's probably why he was backing up. Those guys were really tight, as you see the sparks flying from the right front of that number 22 truck.
Yes, we do. So they got used tires, the first 4 trucks. First 2 rows have used tires, 63 laps on their tires. The 13 is on rights, 38, and everyone behind him is on 4. So 32 to go, coming at the line. This is going to be a big restart.
Here we go. Green flag is in the air. Corey Heim on the outside. What does Lane Riggs do here? It's clean, but here comes Gio Ruggiero on the 17. Chandler Smith on new tires. Here he comes.
Already.
That white truck on the inside.
He's going to clear the 17 off turn 4 and set his sights on P2. He had a great restart. That has worked out perfectly for Chandler Smith.
Now the question is, have we seen our last caution? You know how these things get late in the going. 3 wide at North Wilkesboro. They're stacked up in the back.
Now the 11 can't run the lane that he likes, right? He has to go in on the bottom. This is going to help the 38 right here. 38's going to have a run and be closer than he's been in a while down the back.
Chandler Smith all over
Goes to the bottom. He's
Oh,
going to
shove
shove it
him.
to him. Caution.
And around goes Brent Cruz. Caution is out for the 5th time with 4 laps to go.
As we see, this is one other thing he has going for him is his front
Point
bumper.
of contact.
You know, he didn't waste any time. He's like, I have my one shot to get by you. I'm going to do it. And clears him. But
Chandler feels like that's it. And then the caution comes out.
And he was behind him at the point of the timing line.
Corey Heim's teammate, Brent Cruz, brings out that caution in the 1 truck right here.
What happened over here? We talked about Ben Rhodes moving up through the field, and he just gets into Brent. We see how difficult it is to enter on the bottom of turns 1 and 2, and that was a great example of it there again.
You see the 99 just get tight, getting down in there, overdriving. Start.
2 laps to see who's going to win this race. Unless the caution flies, then we'll just rack it up and do it again.
Look at all these fans.
And if I'm Corey Heim, I'm crowding the 38 as close to the bump as I can get and going right at that bump and where the 38 can't launch.
If I'm Lane Riggs, I'm feeling pretty good about life right now. He's on that 2nd row. What will they do?
Here we go. Chandler Smith on the inside. Corey Heim out front. What a restart.
Great
But
restart.
look at Lane Riggs up high.
Great restart by the 11. Lane Riggs really good through 1 and 2. He's going to clear for 2nd.
Corey Heim's already been run into once.
Corey Heim tried to protect. He got into turn 3 way too deep. Loose.
Oh, sideways.
White flag.
White flag is in the air.
Slide job.
Last lap of this
Slide
race.
job.
Lane Riggs into Corey Heim.
Corey
Heim goes around. It's battle of the teammates to the finish line. Who's it going to be? Chandler Smith with the advantage over Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs sideways. Checkered flag in the air.
Caution flag.
Chandler Smith. What a last lap.
Well.
Hell yeah, Jimmy. Let's go, boys.
2nd win of the season for Chandler Smith. There's John Leonard, his crew chief. Brian, when he came in and he took those new tires, you said, watch him. That's going to be the winner.
Wow, what a show.
I didn't know he was going to win in those circumstances, but he wound up victory lane, and you know they took a chance at getting tires, and they were able to make it work.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.